You've looked at a scheme with 2 flats. What advice have you had regarding converting this to an HMO?
Hi Bart, it's great to have you with us today.
Hello, glad to be here.
Whereabouts have you travelled from?
Doncaster.
Okay, so quite far up north.
Yeah, like 2 hours maybe.
So what have you brought for our angels today then?
It's 2-bed terrace house with a shop on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Which I'm planning to convert into 5-bed all-en-suite HMO. That's in
nice.
Barnsley.
Nice. Okay. And what's the tenant type going to be for it?
Professionals, young
Professional
professionals
use.
probably.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
So,
And how much investment are you after today?
I'm after 165,000 pounds.
Okay, excellent. Is there anyone in particular that you would like to work with from our angels?
No.
No?
No
Happy with
preference.
anyone?
Happy with anyone. So.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to send you in now.
Yeah.
Look forward to speaking to you when you get out.
Can't wait for it. Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. So the deal is a 2-bed terrace house with the shop on the ground floor. I secured it for 79,000. It's like 21% below market value. I negotiated 21k already. And refurb cost in terms of the what I'm asking for is 165,000 pounds, all the money, and that's including 79,000 purchase, 80,000 refurb. I also put SDLT on it, but I think it might be refundable because of the mixed use shop on the ground floor. So I'm asking for all the money, and I'm expecting 60-40 split to my favor.
In your favour?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So a 60-40 split in your favour, just so we know that's right.
Yeah.
So we all understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in terms of the management, I will be, it's completely hands off for you. So basically, I provide the deal.
Yes.
I provide the knowledge. I provide the refurbishment, project management, and then you don't have to be worried about the lettings. I know some of you not fancy about the HMOs. Me too, me either, but I'm in the position when I want to increase my cash flow now. So that's why, and I haven't got enough time to bring, which I really want to do. I haven't got enough time to bring you commercial to residential.
Yeah, no, I'm just interested in the refurbishment costs. How much have you got aside for that, please?
It's contingency like 10,000. I think we're gonna do it in 70,000. And the reason why I'm confident with it is my knowledge of local contractors, and it's my so many of my friends, they doing same thing, and they run project management. For example,
you've got the contacts, Bart, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so my colleague did it for 66.
Yeah, okay, so we're talking £70,000 to refurbish the 2-bedroom house and the shop.
Yeah.
Are you leaving the shop as a shop, or is that going to become residential as well?
That will become residential.
Okay.
It's floor
does
plan.
that need change of use on that?
I have spoken with my architect, and it's all done basically.
Okay.
We had like pre-planning for 2 flats. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get into commercial conversion, and I wanted to start with small. I know that I didn't want to bring it with you because that will be like maybe 20,000 left into the deal, which I think it won't be attractive for you.
Can I just explore the planning advice that you've had? Because you spoke to the architect. You've looked at a scheme with 2 flats. What advice have you had regarding converting this to an HMO?
And in terms of the HMO, we need to go through full planning.
Have you had any advice on the likelihood of getting, I know it's under 6 rooms that you're creating, but because it's mixed use, you still have to go through full planning.
Yes.
Because it's mixed use. But have you had any input on the likelihood of you getting that with all the neighbours being consulted and all of that jazz in that area? Because it starts to take into account parking.
To be honest, haven't got time yet. Basically, the architect changed the plans like 2 years back for 5-bedroom all-en-suite. So we haven't got time. But in feeling of his confidence, we should get planning for HMO.
Just a question about the value. I hate the term below market value, but that's not your fault. How have you determined that this is 21% below market value?
Basically,
what's it being compared to?
Guide price for it was I think 120. Then they dropped, and then I also negotiated like 21,000, and that was the that's the price for.
Yes, but you say 21%. So okay, so 21% below the original 120. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, but if in terms of the asking price, the houses on the road, they're much smaller and they're being sold for similar price. So,
but are they of the same standard as it currently is, or are they the finished version?
Yes, I know what you mean. About maybe better, but much smaller. So in terms of its corner plot, you can see the building is much larger.
One of the issues I see is that you've got the post refurbishment value at 231,000. So that's based on the income, isn't it? The
Yeah, based
valuation.
on the income and yield.
Yeah, absolutely. And as much as that's great, valuers always look at, especially for small HMOs, that's 6 beds or less under the C4 planning cast, you really struggle to get the commercial value on them. It is possible. I think there's one, maybe 2 lenders in the market that are still doing
the
it.
broker as well, and he said we might get the commercial valuation for 5 beds on a suite.
For a 5 bed, it's really hard. 6 bed, which is the biggest of the small HMOs, up to 6 beds, just about doable with 1 or 2 lenders. With 5, it's even harder. And then in a slightly lower value area, compared to somewhere down the southeast, for example, it's even harder because the capital values tend to not increase as much. So they're going to look at the bricks and mortar value of this compared to the ones in the street. So just sort of leaning on from Paul's point, really, about establishing what the end value is here.
Yes.
The value is going to see stuff in the same street, albeit smaller, for about 120,000, 110, 120,000. 130 for the same size.
No, smaller. I
Yeah,
don't know what's
smaller.
wrong with you guys today. Bart has said that the houses next door and beyond are smaller.
Yes.
This is a bigger property. It's got a one-room shop. I think we're over sort of.
No, I get that, John. I get
egging
that.
the job on.
But
he's just going to end up with He's going to end up with a 5-bedroom house.
Are you struggling to find your next commercial to residential conversion project? Well, over the next 2 years, virtually every UK bank branch will close. Banks are fabulous buildings in prime locations, and thanks to permitted development rights, they're really easy to convert to alternative uses under a light touch planning regime. My team have put together a list of over 500 UK bank branches which are poised for imminent closure. And for a limited period only, you can download this list absolutely free. Your next commercial property project is on this list, so download it now and enjoy the rest of the video.
But we're questioning, where Nick's going is we're questioning whether
I don't know where Nick's going.
the commercial value is appropriate. I'm with Nick. I'm not sure it does.
No, Nick's got a very important
Could get
point.
down valued.
Because you need to keep in mind, 80 grand purchase, 80 grand reno, 160 spent on it.
Yep.
Is it worth 160?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Is it worth 160 or
What
180?
is the bricks and mortar value when it's vacant, as a vacant property? Can I just pick you up, Bart, on the fact that you want 60% of this deal, and poor Ranjan's only going to get 40%, or anyone else along the line here, including me. What's your thinking about? What's your thinking on that? Because we're the ones putting all the money in.
Basically, you get all your money back, and I will be managing the property.
Essentially, we would be taking all the risk for less reward than you, which is difficult to sort of get comfortable with.
And the risks are, one, the planning risk, because it's not being bought subject to planning, and secondly, the end valuation risk. As opposed to, if we wanted to do this, maybe paying 2% to a sourcer and maybe 18% to a manager after that, and putting all our money into to do this sort of deal. So it does seem a bit of a strange breakdown.
The thing I don't like about smaller properties like this that need work is something that goes wrong has a much bigger impact. I'm sure Ranjan said this to me at one point. Most of what he does is in London. So average property prices of 500 grand. If a 40 grand cost pops up, that's okay. If a 40 grand cost pops up on this, that's not okay. So it's higher risk because it's lower value.
I can secure the refurbishment costs with JCT contract.
Yes, but you don't know what's going to go wrong.
So that will go from my pocket then.
Yeah.
So for those reasons, it's not for me.
Okay. Who would like to go next?
I mean, for very similar reasons, and because we're not sure about the commercial value, I'm just looking for kind of certainty in the deals that I do. So it's not for me today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I like 2 things about you. One is the fact that you've taken a picture of their living room, which looks just like John's living room. And secondly, you've worn a suit that complements Ranjan's vintage retro suit.
Yeah,
so
it does.
I like both of those things. What I don't like is the risk in this deal. If it was a house with C3 planning that had permitted development rights to a 5-bed HMO, you might have had us interested because it would have been a simpler refurb, no planning risk, no time delay risk, and you're straight in with a quick flip. For today, it's a no. I think that process is going to cost you 5 to 10 grand to get that, and I think the numbers are tight anyway. My biggest other concern, by the way, is that commercial valuation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bricks and mortar valuation will be too far off the commercial valuation. That you can overcome that sometimes, but if it gets down valued to somewhere in the middle, which happens 2 out of 3 times, then we don't get our money back.
Yeah.
So
I had same feeling, and basically, as I mentioned, I wanted to bring you a bigger deal, but have a good time. And at that time, I had only that deal.
You can only
fair,
bring what you
but
have.
you can only bring what you can find.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I
for me,
understand.
it's easy to
Okay.
find bigger
So-
properties.
I'd love to
Because that's
speak to you again if you find some better deals, but for today, it's a no from me.
Okay, Ranjan.
My thoughts are, I'm not going to repeat what the other guys have said because I agree with them, but my advice to you would be to revisit making these multiple independent flats, because you're more likely you will get the end valuation then. The problem with going for a 5-bedroom house, if any buyer was looking for a 5-bedroom house, they've got 5-bedroom detached and all of this to look at, they would not look at that as a family house. That's the comparable issue. So you tend to find it's better to overcome the valuation issue to do independent flats. So I'd look at that as a route, because I think you've got the wrong strategy for this building for me.
So Bart, I'm the last one, obviously, to give you my decision. My decision is today, the first bit of advice I'd give you is don't come in 60-40 in your favour. I would always, if you're doing a joint venture with someone, I would always start at 50-50 because that just gets people's backs up a little bit. And secondly, from my point of view, and probably some of the other angels, a bigger deal, something we can get our teeth into, which is less risk in terms of planning. And I'm sure if you brought another deal to us, you'll get a better positive response. But for today, it's no. But thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so Bart, how did you get on then?
I didn't get founding, so I probably try to find the deal by myself.
Okay.
With Bridge maybe, or with the other investor.
Okay. How was the experience in general? Did you still really enjoy it?
Yes, I'm glad to be here, and coming just out of the comfort zone is something which improves us. So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, definitely.
No nervous, more excited than nervous, I think.
Good. Yeah, that's exactly how it should be, or how we hope it to be anyway.
Yeah.
I'm still so glad that it was a positive experience for you, and we wish you the best of luck and hope that you find a cracking deal for next time.
Thank you. I will be back here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
In a nutshell, that one is planning risk and uncertainty on the end value. That's what kills it.
I think Bart's better than that.
Yeah.
I think,
Yes.
what I like about Bart is that he can do the construction work. He's obviously, motivated, focused, got some experience, got some property, and, I'm surprised it was 70-odd thousand to refurbish as well, because I thought it's quite a lot of money up in Barnsley.
I was going to say, I think you do that more cost effectively.
I would have thought so, and I'm a little bit surprised at that. But, give us something we can sink our teeth
Yeah,
into.
hopefully that's something that
too
that
small.
people can take away from this, is that cheaper isn't necessarily less risk.
No.
Yes.
That's a very
And
good
I think
point.
because Bart's getting going and he doesn't
Yeah.
have the funds himself, he thinks that this 80 grand property
Yeah.
is a good way to start. But actually, if it was a 300 or 400 grand property,
Yeah.
we would have been more interested.
Yeah.
We would have
Yeah.
been.
It's a good way for
Absolutely.
him to start, but not to
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
with an investor.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Baker Street Property Meet is the UK's largest and #1 property investors networking event. The property market is going through monumental change right now, and at Baker Street Property Meet we aim to keep you up to date with the latest tips and tricks and insider tactics to help you keep on top of your property investing game and succeed in these troubled economic times. The Baker Street Property Meet is fundamentally about networking, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And at Baker Street, we aim to connect you with the people to make your property journey a monumental success. There's no better place to be to further your property investment journey than the Baker Street Property Meet. So make sure you're here, you're connecting with myself and Andrew Roberts, our expert guest speakers and 300 passionate property people each and every month. See you at the next meet. Get your spot at bakerstreetpropertymeet.com.